Is freedom killing your creativity? I don't know about you, but when I find myself with too much freedom, I find it almost impossible to create. Hi, my name is James Ruddle, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about 4 ways to become more creative. My first tip to being a better creative is to handcuff yourself to only use one. If that one thing is a principle, whether it is a thing like a pen or a paintbrush, then just use one thing and force yourself and restrict everything else to force you to only use that one thing. Like line, for example. In my work, I'm always using the idea of line, whether I'm drawing with line or whether I'm painting with line. I find that if I use line as the main focus of my piece, it forces me to be more restrictive in everything else that I do. The second thing is to restrict your principles. Your principles are things like rhythm, pattern, repetition, balance, unity, harmony, emphasis, and contrast. All those things are great, but I find that if I force myself to look at one of those things, so if I'm going out to take a photograph, I force myself to just take a photograph of balance. And when I look at balance, then it forces me to see the world from a point of view of just balance. Or if I'm going out and I'm just looking for variety, then all I do is I run to the supermarket and I look at all the variety of different limes and lemons. And there's so many unique qualities about a lemon or a lime, but each one is totally different. And so that gives variety. And it helps force me to look at the world from a different perspective. And same with my painting. If I'm just looking at contrast, then the whole piece should be creating emphasis through contrast. And so that's what I focus on. The third thing is to restrict yourself with time. So one of the patterns that I've gotten into over the last few years is I force myself to paint for, say, an hour a day. And that restricts me so that I'm forced to actually do something and to be creative for an hour a day. And whatever I come up with, whether it's a photo, whether it's a video, whether it is an actual painting, if I force myself to be creative for 1 hour, and whether it's to shoot and to edit a video, it may be garbage at the end. But what it's done is it's forced me to have a due date, a deadline, and it allows me to be creative within that restrictive boundaries that I've set out for myself. The fourth thing is to restrict yourself through theme. So that's like an idea. So in the body of my work, I restrict myself through portraits, and portraits are faces of people. And what it's allowed me to do is it just helps me to focus on that one thing. And through looking at the face as a creative element, a creative process, as a creative theme, then it forces me to do everything that's creative within, okay, how do I find an interesting source of light on the face? How do I make the face pop? How do I use line in the face to create a sense of mood or a sense of who that person is? So restricting myself through theme or idea has allowed me to be way more creative. So I hope those 4 things have helped you and will help you in the future as you become more creative. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned next week.